All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And for those who don't know, I want to make it clear that in the description of my videos that I do have a link to a folder on Dropbox that will give you access to the photos that I grabbed that are either AI or otherwise for a lot of the cool photos that I find while browsing the internet. And those photos that I grab will be made available in that folder. So if you guys are interested in those photos, you can see the link in the description. I also have my email address listed in there so that if you need to get a hold of me, you can reach me through that email address. Now, I don't always respond to everybody because I don't have the time. I do run my business, my voiceover business, and I get so many emails and deal with so many emails with that if it's not super important, you may not get a response from me, but do know that I do read all of those emails. So keep that in mind. I also have a link to my Twitter account, which can be humorous at times. This last week has been eye-opening. People like to make pictures of me and doctor them up, thinking they're somehow hurting me, but all they're doing is bringing more people to my channel and more people to my Twitter account, which is kind of funny. I did have to block a whole slew of people just the other day. It gets kind of interesting on there, so there's a lot of crazy people out there. Let's put it that way. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the news I've grabbed since my last update. First up, it says Deadpool 3 and Joker, Folie à Deux, will battle for the highest-grossing superhero movie of 2024, which isn't going to be a hard task considering both of these companies don't have any super major releases coming out. And it says Deadpool's connection to the MCU and inclusion of Wolverine gives it a strong advantage. But the first Joker made $300 million more than Deadpool 2. Now, I think in this case, personally, I think Deadpool 3 has the leg up here simply because we have the Joker, which is going to be a musical, and I think a lot of people are going to pass on it just because it's a musical. I would be very surprised if the sequel makes anywhere near as much money as the original did. Here's a little bit of news coming from Henry Cavill. The Highlander series is about to get off the ground, and he says it's going to be a serious ride. I'll tell you that much. So I'm looking forward to seeing a modern Highlander film, and Henry Cavill will be starring in that. So he's got a lot of projects coming up. He is a very busy individual. So there's a report here. James Gunn and Warner Brothers Discovery have not discussed a contract extension for the DCU co-CEO. So his contract is up at 3 years. And unless Superman Legacy does something amazing and these first few projects, and I forgot to talk about this at the end of my last video, if these things don't get off the ground, it's not going to bode well for James Gunn. Also, we have news here that David Zaslav contract with Warner Brothers also ends in 3 years. And if things remain the way they are now, he will not get a renewed contract. And we're going to look at something that just came out today, which is eye-opening. Here we go. Warner Brothers Discovery stock falls after analysts downgrade on lower M&A likelihood, slower max growth, and ad declines. So things still continue to get worse for Warner Brothers. Everybody could talk about how, they could spin this however they want, but this company is currently on fire, burning to the ground. And I just don't think that these first few projects that they have coming are going to be of that much interest to the public. Now, this individual, James, said, my source says Warner Brothers is going to drastically cut the budgets of some of the tentpole films that have yet to be shot. Exceptions are the direct sequels of financially successful movies. And that comes from apparently a Variety article. And it's going to be interesting if this is true because Superman Legacy is the first of those to go in front of the cameras. So where does this leave Warner Brothers currently? Well, it's not good, guys. It's not good at all. In fact, things continue to get worse. Over on my Twitter account, there was the video clip that came out from the new Justice League versus Suicide Squad versus the Justice League game that gets released in 3 days. And this scene is going to piss a lot of people off. It was, to me, it seemed a little ridiculous, and I don't know why they're going down this route, but they have decided to do certain things with that game that I think are going to turn fans away. I being one of those, and I think many others based on the comments that I saw. Now, there are a lot of people that are supporting this decision, and that's fine, but not everybody is going to be okay with it. And for a company to be so divisive with the decisions they're making and to slap a lot of the fans in the face shows just how much regard they show to those fans who have gotten them to where they are. And the first 3 Arkham Knight games were amazing. And it's sad to see. Well, there are 4 games. I do consider, Arkham Origins as part of the series. So those 4 games were amazing. And for this to be a part of that series and this to be kind of a send-off for some of this, not very respectful in my eyes. And so it's not just the movie division that has problems. But what I want to talk about, and this is something I wanted to bring up in my last video, and I forgot to mention it, was the original slate that got released. And as we know, the only projects that are ongoing right now or actually being created are all being run by James Gunn. They're all written by James Gunn. They're going to be directed by James Gunn. It's the James Gunn's show. And what's crazy about this is we're going to kick off the whole DCU with Creature Commandos. There are not many people who are excited about Creature Commandos. Now, I'm going to get some people saying in the comments, I'm excited for it. Good for you. But the general public is not. There's a very small group of people that are even going to tune in to check that project out. Now, I have no interest in it, but I am going to be reviewing it on my channel, so I will have to watch it, which will then be followed up with Superman Legacy, which apparently starts filming here in about a month and a half. Again, written and directed by James Gunn. And then he's finishing up writing Peacemaker Season 2, so we know they're going to roll right into filming that as well. So these first 3 DCU projects are all going to be under Gunn. And Superman Legacy looks like an over-bloated film with a bunch of heroes. People are like, oh, they're just going to have cameos. Well, I remember when Batman vs. Superman came out and everybody was upset about how quickly they were starting that universe and jamming Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman together in this film. Yet we've got James Gunn throwing 4 times as many characters into his film, and people are okay with it, which doesn't make sense. They're going to have to make that movie on a very big budget, a small budget. What I mean by is a small budget so that they can get it released and make money off of it. But I don't think it's going to make anywhere near as much money as the Batman did, and it doesn't bode well for the company. So overall, things are just not looking good for Warner Brothers right now, and I don't see a pathway for them to get out of this. All right, guys, there is my update for the day. As more information gets released, I will be continuing to do these daily updates. I appreciate all the support. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up.